Hello Year 8, I'm Mrs K and I'm supporting you through the curriculum choices process this year. There are lots of decisions for you to make over the next few weeks, and the information in this presentation will explain what the process entails and give you some guidance on how to get the most out of it so that you go into Year 9 really happy with the range of subjects that you're going to be studying. I want to start by talking to you about how to make these decisions, how to choose. And I want to reassure you that these decisions that you're making about what you study in Year 9 are just that. In Year 9, you will have further choices about which subjects you go forward to do qualifications in, whether that's GCSE or vocational qualifications, which I'll come on to in a bit more detail later on. What you're doing right now is thinking about those subjects that you want to carry on with, or maybe those new subjects that you want to try out. So my first bit of advice would be definitely choose something that you enjoy. It seems really obvious, but it's important that you enjoy the subjects that you're going to select and that you feel good at them. And that's not to say that you're the best in the world at them, that you're brilliant at them, but that you feel that you can be successful and that you can enjoy those lessons. My only real don't is, don't be swayed by what your friends choose. You will still see your friends in tutor time, at social time, in those core subjects that everybody does. And it really isn't worth selecting a subject that your friend is doing just because they're doing it if you're not going to enjoy it. Each subject is only 2 hours a week. So definitely select subjects that you're going to enjoy, even if your friends aren't doing them. And there's lots of people around you who can advise you. Parents and carers, your teachers that know you really well. You might have friends in older friends in other year groups that have been through this process that can give you some advice, older brothers or sisters. So definitely listen to what people have to say, kind of take on board their suggestions, their guidance, but ultimately you have to feel confident and happy with the decisions that you make because you're the one who's going to be studying those subjects as you go into Year 9. So I mentioned that we have a core curriculum. So these are subjects that everybody studies. There's no dropping any of these. You'll see modern foreign languages on the list. So in Year 7 and Year 8, you've been studying 2 languages. So the first choice you have to make is which one of them are you going to continue with into Year 9. Now there is an option for those of you that like your languages to continue with both of them. But the first decision for everybody is which language am I going to continue with? The next decision is about which one of these subjects you're going to study. You can see a range there of creative subjects, practical subjects. We have fantastic facilities here at school for you to undertake these subjects, but your education has been so disrupted through Year 7 and 8 by the pandemic that you haven't had a lot of time in these specialist facilities and classrooms. So we want to make sure that you have a really good experience of them. And so your next decision is which of these creative subjects are you going to continue with? And again, don't worry, there is the option to do more than one of them. Because finally, you've got to choose 2 further subjects from these, what we call option subjects. And as you can see, language is there on the list. So if you choose as your first language to do French, but you've also really enjoyed doing German, then you have the option to carry them both on, or any other combination. The only kind of stipulation is it has to be a language that you've already been studying in Year 7 and Year 8. You can't start a new language because you'd be 2 years behind everyone else, and that would be far too much to catch up. So it has to be something you've studied in Year 7 and 8 for the languages. But if you want to do them both, you can do. It'd be one of the 2 subjects you have to choose as part of this part of the options process, the curriculum choices process. Also on the list there, we have all those creative subjects like I mentioned. So if you have a real burning desire to do art and drama and textiles, for example, then they all work together. What we don't allow, or certainly advise very strongly against, is doing 2 subjects that are very similar to each other. So you couldn't do, for example, computing and IT. You couldn't do art and photography. And similarly with resistant materials and textiles, they are the same qualification when you get to Year 10 and 11. So again, you're limited from that in Year 9 because it really reduces the options you have going into Year 10 and Year 11. Now, you're going to want to know more about all of these subjects, and on the website, which goes live at 6 p.m. on Thursday, the 27th of January, all of the different departments have put together video presentations and PowerPoint presentations to explain more about what you actually do in Year 9 in each of these subjects, and that's going to help you kind of decide in a bit more detail what it's all about, and also a curriculum guide, which is going to be available on the website as well from 6 p.m. on Thursday, 27th of January, but also you're going to take a copy home with you on that date as well. That also has more information about what you do in Year 9 in each of these subjects, which will help you make those decisions. As I mentioned earlier, once you get into Year 9 and you spend the best part of the year studying your new set of subjects, you then have to make a decision about which of them you're going to continue on with, do qualifications in Year 10 and Year 11. And you'll take 3 of those subjects further. And those 3 subjects are going to be in addition to GCSEs in English and Maths and Science, MFL, and then also non-examined subjects, Character and Culture, Philosophy and Ethics, and PE as well. So everybody in Year 10 and 11 in Key Stage 4 will sit qualifications in these subjects. And again, there's an option to carry on with both geography and history if you're really loving them both. And then in some of the different subject areas, there is different types of qualifications on offer as well. So if you choose business in Year 9, in Year 9 then, once you've studied the course for some time, you'll be able to decide whether or not you want to carry on with the GCSE business or the vocational business qualification, and the same for food, for sport, and for textiles as well. And you'll be supported in Year 9 to make the most appropriate choice when we come to that in a year's time. So what next then? Well, you'll take a curriculum guide home on Thursday, the 27th of January, and that has for all the subjects an outline of what you study in Year 9. Then at 6 p.m. on Thursday, 27th of January, you'll be able to log on to our website, www.southamptoncollege.com, and watch those videos from all the different departments and some presentations as well, explaining in more detail, what the subject's about and why it would be a really good idea if you selected it. And then the week beginning the 31st of January, during tutor time, some of those subjects that you haven't studied before will have an opportunity to present a bit more information. It's slightly easier to decide whether or not you want to take a subject that you're already studying, slightly trickier decision if you haven't ever studied it before. So we get lots of information to you about those new subjects. And then on Thursday, the 10th of February, you have your subject information evening, where your parents and your carers can speak to your subject teachers. And that's a really good opportunity to find out anything else about the subject you want to know, but also kind of get their opinion as well and whether that would be a really good fit for you. And then finally, we ask you to make all of your different choices by Wednesday, the 2nd of March. And if you decide on Thursday, the 27th of January, I know what I'm doing, and you fill out your form, that's absolutely fine. But for those of you that have a bit more of a, not quite sure what you want to do, you've got plenty of time to get the information you need to make an informed choice. This year, we're going to find out what your final curriculum choices are in a slightly different way using an online service. Now, to register for that service, you're going to receive an invitation email on the 27th of January. And it will come from the address on the screen, no reply at sims.co.uk. It has a unique invitation code unique to you, so don't delete it. And if you do delete it, just find it in your trash folder and bring it back into your inbox. You're going to need that code to set up your account. If it's not there, just check your junk folder, make sure it hasn't fallen in there, or your other folder or your focus folder or whatever. But if you still can't find it, then if you email the address at the bottom there, then I'll be able to sort out that for you and get you a registration email. So SOUY8 options@welearn365.com. Once you get onto the sign-in page, following the link in the email, you need to register using your school Office 365 account. It's that icon there on the screen, those 4 little colour blocks you need to click. That will take you through to a sign-in page, and you use your school email details to register. So your WeLearn details are what you use. Once that registration process is complete, you can sign into the options online at that address on the screen, www.sims-options.co.uk. And again, once you get onto that sign-in page, you have to click the icon Office 365 icon with the 4 little coloured squares, and enter your sign-in details. Enter those WeLearn details that you've used to register. Once you get onto the website, you'll see a page that looks something like this. You can see the different choices that you have to make. So the top one there, modern language, select one modern language from those you've studied. You just click it. If you click the wrong one, you just click it again and click the right one. So this isn't you can't make any mistakes with this. It will only come through to us once you've completed the process. Then the creative subject, then 2 option subjects, and you can see it says 0 of 1 has been chosen. So once you've made the right number of selections, it will go green. It'll say 1 of 1 or 2 of 2. And also on this page, it will ask you to choose geography, history, and you need to select both of them because everybody studies geography and history. So select both geography and history at the very bottom of the page. And then it will come up on the right-hand side the subjects that you have selected. So you can see, French, drama, computer, music, geography, history for this student here. If they suddenly decide, actually, you know what, I don't want to do music, I want to do sport, then they just have to go and click again on the music, which has gone bright blue, and then click onto the sport. So it's quite intuitive, it's quite straightforward to use. So finally then, if you have any questions at all, if you need any help using the online service, if you have any questions about the decisions or the choices you have to make, or if you want to know more, certainly your subject teacher is a really good starting point if you want to know more about a particular subject. If it's not one that you've studied before, then the head of department would be a good person to seek out. Your tutor can help you. But if you have any queries that can't be answered by any of those routes, then do remember this email address that you can email or your parents can email to find out any information that you need. So very best of luck. I hope you find it quite a straightforward process, and I hope you enjoy finding out more about the subjects and having some say in what you're going to study in Year 9.